We have found peers and colleagues more. I shall begin to bring trips to the vault to inquire about them. Reconsider my petition to grant Lady Lavera the opportunity to speak with the conclave. We all have our strength, Kenan, and none will deny yours. Convicting seamlessly sane people to do your bidding is a testament to that. I look forward to hearing of your progress. As for myself, there are still some questions I need answered. First being, how exactly did Foremost come in contact with the Charlene assassin? Superintend me. I wish to visit the Foundation and learn if there have been any sightings of suspicious foreigners. May I suggest that one can do the same here at the observatory? Perhaps second call of a new ally will help my uncle recall aught he may be pertain in the heat of... Alright, where am I going? Seven hells, I rule the day I ever see another Charlene. I'm done all you ask. What do you want from me? First. Or perhaps you wish to know more about the Sabella that came to be involved in the scheme. I thought as much. If so was important, why did your leader ask me earlier? Her head is so far in the stars she fails to see what unfolds on the ground. The truth is there was never my scheme in the first place. It was the Charlatans that came up with to me long after Professor May's ships were averted. Pirates of straight metal, your friends from right, but when they were forced to plan, they required help hiring a local hand, something they could not do as a foreigner. I agreed to lend them my aid because I felt we both stood to benefit from the disappearance of this. He is immediately. Why in the past he was told to entertain a guest with the distant markings on the face. I asked Lord Fulmod whence he answered north. It came to him. That only means that my uncle was only a pawn in a much larger game. The game that long before we placed began. The bandits in the black shroud that those pirates were described that attacked you and Elizabeth. They had strange. It is not, but perhaps later we'll be able to make more sense of it at all. Despite the time we have spent together, I had a feeling that she has yet to be completely honest with us. But look at me. A beloved relative tries to have me killed, and the next day I begin doubting everyone. What a sad affair. Perhaps to clear the head, I would call on the fine young visiting this information and the foremost associates should be relayed to leader. Finally, not any harm come to her in the Central Holy See. Then again, that is. I shall search for help, but I might ask you. Someone approached me behind and placed a dagger onto my back. I had no choice but to lay standing away. Luckily my sins left down his guard. When we arrived in the shadow, I was able to deliver a swift kick to the groin. I've been running away since. 9 years. While the artifact of the scheme dragged me back to Charlene, I had my suspicions. I was a fool to believe they would simply let me leave. Do you recall where they mentioned that there were peoples in the old world intent on hoarding our nation's knowledge? Well, it appears that my efforts to train you and Junkin have attracted their ire. Allow me to apologize. I have not been wholly frank with you about my reasons for visiting Erosa. The truth is, I came here because of my father. My father dreamed of rekindling the Holy See interest in Charlene astrology, believing that it would be a great benefit to them. He came here 7 moons after I was born, intending to remain for only a season. However, he made a return during his dream was left unrealized, and his new daughter left without a father. Never once did I meet him, but every night when I look in the skies, I know that those are the same skies he too gazed upon, the same skies he used as a strength and guide. While it was only natural I follow in his footsteps, in spite of the objections from my mother, who did not wish to see her only daughter lost as well. Here I am in Rosa after 2 decades later, pursuing a dream my father never lived to realize, a dream that has become my own. And now someone is trying to stop me. Well, just let them try. I say, just let them try. A maiden of your beauty should not wander off without an escort. Monsters hide. Maiden, flattery will earn you nothing, but I will accept nothing less. Tell me, what did they accepted it? But we have been given official permission by the Holy See to conduct a symposium on the wonders of Charlotte astrology, with you as a guest spoken. Now come, we must hurry back to Sherman and begin preparation. More than 15 summers to make up for this moment, and now I have only a matter of days. I've never seen that enthused about, well, anything. I suppose we better hurry back to Sherman before his passion cools and he finds a warm bed in which I'll escort the lady to her scene. Hold her hand if I must, to ensure she doesn't wander off. You're gonna get kicked in the groin again, my friend. Good begun, but most. I truly did not expect the turns of fate. I suppose that speaks much to my capacity. I'm not blind what goes on in speaking, so I cannot claim to life in any different way. That does not mean I do not share my troubles. However trivial they may be, being anything but first in life in a country of not all horrors and rainbows. Okay, the court only truly cares about is a newly appointed heir. Just like the rest of my family, they expect great things from him. From me, they expect nothing. For a long time, I have tried to prove I could be as great as my cousin. It is why I went to Charlotte. It is why I have tried to do things I had no business even trying. Then once again, I realized no one was looking. I simply stopped caring. My actions became more and more outlandish because at the end of the day, that is what everyone expects. And then you two walked through the doors, and that door helped me realize that maybe my life is more than a coffin that has been fitted for me. Maybe the fate I believe was mine. Was not mine at all, but for helping see that. Good news and bad news. The good news is the preparation for the symposium of Charlotte astrology has been progressing smoothly as expected. They have even gotten in trouble with it. The bad news is the spaceship is in question lies in Falcon. Thus, no wonder I speak of the frigid buildings in the middle of nowhere. You would doubtless have heard so many good things about it. Yes, the Falconess. Yeah, I suppose as many people suggest. I'm not certain what blessing may be, but perhaps we should all. There is not supposed to have synopsis to be held here. The timing had mom's away. Civilization crawling within peeps who cannot see even spell astrology, let alone grasp how it works. But there's the whole town has even informed of our arrival. There's 3 of us. Spinning the last bell, speaking whoever will listen, inviting them to attend the event so at least they won't. But worry not, friend. We have saved enough. You're a heretic. because you're talking with one. There is no kind of astrologian Ishgar in any part. Consider you an unbelievable. I suppose the knights might allow you yep, but cause too much commotion, you'll disappear like the other lad. His wounds look deep. Himself. Are you here, adventure? If so, I have another request for you. There are others who scattered from we are ruined. Some of us are great others. I fear my fellow knights have been in grave danger. Would you seek them? We perished. Through. I thought the star served as an inside of the hornet. And focus next discuss the topic. Perhaps I persuade the others to guard. Where have you been? Why did I return? We visited the northern gates and left. You could have been killed or killed then eaten into. Was this you now displayed the astronomers? I see I have the pen lights. This may work to our advantage. If the knight begins clamoring for astrology to recite their rings, they can see me. I told you that to help him use the confusion of the gem at the gem packed, she said. You have to out the hamlet for her up company. Even a blind babe could see that there's no one will gather. Are you sure to attend my wounds? And you can see both me and my fellow knights may feel recovered thanks to your wonderful Reinforcements in the garrison had never arrived. I spoke with the Red Wolf. Perhaps he has no reinforcements. I am convinced that they are able to heal as much. The captain has already assigned on the mission. I apologize for being grumpy, but we... Oh, do you not think it with us later? This is but one hurdle we must leap, and the vault wants us to stop and turn around, and this will encourage placing hurdles before us until we do. But we cannot let it discourage us. We must carry on until we... Yeah, try over hurdle. You know how lucky you were. Did you come from the symposium? No, I won't let anyone see me at that gathering. I've been branded a heretic and sent to witch job, or worse. This is just they set my throat and toss me around the beast, like as they would that other astrologer from the old world. When is it? When you reach my age, the summer's a meltdown. The hair still had colors, so I imagined been at least a score, maybe more perhaps. But it was a long hair. It could not have been anyone you knew. We can dwell on the past. We must need to find a way to interpret the cards we have been dealt, so that they might benefit the present, our present. No, it could not have been anyone I knew. I never had a chance to. You're right, friend. We mustn't let the vault or banners or closed minds prevent us from achieving what we came to do. The stars will point the way. And we will help the people of Ishgard see that as well. Tell or conclusion of it, astronomy at all. I understand that hearing a fellow colleague death might unnerve someone, but you must think she had lost her father. Oh, what have I done? I will not live that down fence. You see, the stranger who, as the old man spoke, it so happened that I knew him well. His name was Ruff, and he was my friend and confidant when I studied Charlemagne. My old friend. He followed me back to where my dad, in a state of, was cut short by the emperor. His dream was to rekindle interest in the forgotten technique which gave rise to Ishgard astrology. But this was a time when the Holy See was even evening the 7 hours of his death remained strong, and that his promise that would not that he is gone perfectly away from us. Yet perhaps we reach a chord, but when I start there was next symphonist The victory is a make-out shift camp and been a big nice. Believe it, and I found that he might have handled this second inconvenience, so not to meant the same fate as we did. I fear the worst. I have been a lady. She believes that approaching this all wrong. That we should embrace the situation, and I believe that she is merely on an outbound error, and her wits are in order. Perhaps we should make. Does not work at the band first. It seems assaulted by man sworn to bid that. The vault led the knight to believe that this is a part of the Astrologians. So we arrived at the 18th location horde. They took out their frustration on pork. We then if the words have no weight with these men. Or switch your foot. Though I suppose I wouldn't be able to do that. How do you? Astrologian, you can't heal people. Have you tapped to the Turkish America? That blood is not the night. And the long left of without you, your state of opposite. You again? One might think these markings would betray me. You wrote I assumed capacity of will. I made that you are not I'm weary of your masquerade. I'm done with entrusting my fate into the realms of blundering mercy. My name is Kelly. I'm here to take the lady into custody so that she can be transported back to Charlemagne. You are here without permission of the forum to perform acts which amount of treason. Your gratitude has already been detained and questioned. I'm giving an opportunity to turn yourself in and put an end to this, once and for all. Do I say and none will be harmed? I thought you were unified with a dispassionate official. Has told you everything. Did you know it was her father who was killed in the 15 summers past? 15 summers past, Ricardo. Your adventurer friend seems already to have put two and two together. Why he didn't tell you earlier? Are you leaving out? This is my final warning. If you see me, you either give yourself up or you will die by my blade. Take on. I do believe I can feel it on her. For someone who's claimed she was hired to bring me at her time, her aim was quite true. The souls claim that you are not here with the blessings of the forum. That's so, why did you... Because I knew the forum would never allow us to come to this contact over the matters committed attack to stall the scourge. The stars have spoken to my grandfather, and he has not about to turn a deaf ear for them. He kept his silence because I did not wish to let him petty politicking man thousands of homes to the north stall in a way of our dream. Our dream is to spread the word of Shalom. Such as my father's dream, I thought he was killed for by close-minded peasants. But Ruffian never once spoke ill of those he wished to enlighten, even at his end. How do you know my father's name? Your father and I became close friends when I was in Charlotte, and when the exilers forced me to return home. He asked if he could accompany me, and saying that if he wished to convince those who once betrayed in the Star Project, and we did for several moons. My countrymen were deeply skeptical and slow to warm magic. Some were even rude, but he never gave up and fight up until he was. I was during your father's last moment. I heard the commotion come from the room one night, and when I checked, I only found him bleeding and slumped over to which he was written all he was attacked while this last surprise. He handed me the diary and asked me to die. Do not. My people and I continue our work. Leave. If I can forgive those fathers. I don't expect you to forgive us yet, but knowing what he did, even at the moment of his death, perhaps he will help you understand. You have always reminded me of Ruffian. Even before I knew he was your father, your passion for your discipline equals his own, or may even exceed it. fate awaited you in this realm? Did you see all this? Did the stars have merely paved the way from this? Now shall not allow anyone to stand in your way. You're right, good man. But so I shall allow you to breach etiquette, but if you fail to address the lady properly, I have to split shining the private. I'll leave him, Kenan. Without Kilmore here, I have been tied up and shipped back to Oberon soon. The stars have him here with me. If he is not going anywhere, neither am I. I'm done with symposium. This is not what Father wanted. He came here to spread the astrology. He came here to use it. And so that I shall do. There are still many convictors out there to convince the people of the greatness that will you tell me of my father? I'll be delighted, Marina, unless that is, you mean I am have private engagement with the private lovely Baroness and I would not wish to keep them waiting. Arrangement, of course he has. I suppose my father should. May have seen with the grim fate awaited him in this room, but chose to come in and knowing it would inspire both of them. Sometimes these celestial messages are simply too grand to scope. However, I think that we must, as so blessed, make sure that it's not. Perhaps it is time I reveal the more powerful form of it, so that prepare for a trial to follow. That follow upon both evils you could have used to spell earlier in your training. I'm happy to report that level is fine and hasn't been attacked by the bandits and the bastards, curs and shallow spies and after wow, I'm not actually in the level that's actually finished it. After resorting to all the convictors so they might return getting wounded, she journeyed northwest and entered Fortland. If that journey was without incident, it's good to see you again. I pray you have not been neglecting your training. Now you have been wondering why I chose Tailfall. Well, the truth of the matter is, I did not choose it at all. It chose me. The hunters here, someone heard of Donet's convicted and placed a formal request to have me come intent. I wonder like to believe that this is proof that the word of benefit of Charlatan astrology is slowly but surely spreading through the realm. But enough talk. There are still many alien cells that recur sucker. And cast that better not be the entire quest. These men have chosen horrible differences. A juggable talon can rip open a flesh to a bone. A single kick can knock an otherwise hale hunter onto survive. Many of them seemed surprised gratefully, of course, but surprised that we were able to help them. Does the hamlet not have its own healers? Do the temple knights not dispatch their hot? Only cares for what the walls with the dragon. It cannot be bought at a handful of hunters. Despite the fact that these hunters are its citizens, I was told on my arrival that they managed with makeshift created using herbs gathered from. They turned to their sole barber who, well, if it's a local butcher, I'm sorry. My frustration with the situation coupled with the day's effort has been me slightly drained. May I be allowed would you be so kind as to come my lady to our store? It has been far too long since Shaolin assassins showed her face at a reading. I said earlier this morning that showed what. It's been a while since I had one. I'm glad you came in. There's something important I must tell you. Sunshine gave me a hundred. I spent my nights poring over the wedding, trying to piece together what about his life. It appears to be hard working and trusted, all truly wanted. Help people in need. He believed that knowledge should not be hoarded like food, but shared amongst. He also knew that there were those who would see him stopped, persons who used the influence to trick the frightened of the forum into believing that the knowledge should be kept at one's breast. Speaking of breast, persons who saw my father as a threat to his final few entries as speak how he learned to fear for his life, of how one man in particular was working to see him is not important for it in the end. It turned out that your father killed was by the very people who was fool enough to trust. People who in their slaying of good men proved that they were unworthy of the knowledge he so freely offered. And now, here you are. Continue this foolishness as you. Do not dare talk about father as if you knew him. You knew nothing. Your mind is as closed as the mind of those back in the old world who believe that hiding in their books will shield them from the pain and suffering of the real world. Such passion is a pity it remains misdirected. My employer only wishes to see you back safe in Shaolin. The former recognizes your talent and you are an asset to the nation and its people. We would have you live a long and prosperous life so that you may rise even younger. You're higher than your father. But we know you are too stubborn to take this gift so graciously offered. You would rather fight, and you know, so I would. Let us fight right here. End this. Right here. Spare no one. Not even the girl. Oh hell. Well, that helped. Alright, I heard a commotion. Not as quick as these four. You remember the hunters so gravely wounded? Not less than a bell ago, if my memory serves. They could barely lift a finger, let alone rush headlong into a heated battle. Don't be too hard on this girlfriend. Turns out we didn't need his help. Who would have thought a real-life fighting astrologians? I truly have seen everything. I dare say those men would not have risked their lives if they hadn't respect for our craft. You're right, our actions have done more to promote astrology than any long-winded discourse. While I expect this very night the tale of your daring deeds will be told 100 times over, which means it will not be long before the forum has heard as well. We Charlans may have officially been in this realm, but our ears remain. If the one who hires Cecile is who I think it is, then I expect not less than a formal edict of eradication to be issued. But Charlans have no power to force its guardians' hands. What exactly is it you have done wrong, but allowed others to partake in a grand nation's bottomless well of knowledge, as I did more than 15 summers ago when I studied in their halls? Things changed after you left, John. Many even believe it was my father's death that tipped the scales in favor of closing the Shaman's door and locking away all our knowledge. If the forums deem it so, I could be arrested and imprisoned for the theft of natural resources. I see no reason why your holy see would already have sown its disdain for our efforts would stand in its way. So what do we do now? Your grandfoot, your father, they have given up so much to see you here. We cannot just concede defeat now that we have finally begun to. Never said we would, John. I have no intention of giving up or giving in. Doing so would be denied sacrifices made by my father and grandfather. The stars have shown me the path I must take. There is no other. And it begins back at Tailfeather, healing those needed. I will see you to Ishkar once I've settled matters. We'll see I arrive unharmed. Leave. Still not have turned to her. But don't worry, I have her word that she simply intends to stay a few turns on the sun longer. But what should we do? Are we worrying about, however, in the forum and their pending decision on our competition extra? It is an official etiquette drafted. I fear we may find ourselves at the mercy of the vault. And if there were not to happen, there were little we can do to keep living here. Short of starting, if only we had more time. When I was studying Astrologian, I heard whispers of an ancient astrometric spell which could stop time and the very movements of the heavens. All of my professors denied it exists, of course. Oh, holy God, what is this? Celestial ring 8 around the caster, 18 seconds. Reduces damage taken by 10 seconds. Applies Wheel of Fortune to self and any partner after you are gone. Regain 5. Cure 10. Effects will be applied continuously to self and all party members standing in within the celestial ring. Effects ends upon another action or moving, including. Oh God. Word of charity has begun spreading, my friend. I have attended more and one luncheon where it was positively dripping off the tongue of all the good lords and ladies. And the knights, they have started rumbling about why Magitech, and that's not only to heal the wounded, but also to enhance strength of the healthy are not being employed to save the lives of those in front lines. Needless to say, the Vault is not amused. Their plan is to have us fade into obscurity and has rebound upon them. And now they have scrambled to twist their situation to their advantage. Listen, the Vault would have us officially attend an operation currently underway in the Western Highlands village of Hemlock. The settlement was abandoned by the community and has been overrun by beasts. The Holy Seas reclaimed his uncle, the Count, have generally volunteered his knights to clear it, and it's a win for the Vault. The operation is small enough to far enough away from the capital that is, even if it's a success, no one will pay it half a mind, but the Vault will be able to say that they answered the pleas of a knight. If for any reason the operation will fail, the Vault would be able to, and the failure of the Astrologian president, turn the High House against it. I spoke with the lady about this, and she said she was not interested in the politics of the situation, but only that it was her duty to aid the people in need. We should speak with her and soon unlock. That's a new battle. Everywhere. We must help them. We still rescue the strange of enemies, and now men and women find themselves overwhelmed. The tight wedges we had at the day's onset have been degraded into small knots. The number of wounded is growing fast. Our chaplains healed them. Thanks to the fury, you're right, we did. I shan't forget this. Before you arrive. What? Wait. I got your back. have we here? Sylvester, you who vowed never to set foot in the barbarian lands again. So I forgot, it was I who hired Cecile to bring you back to Charlene. And if you had come back with us quietly, you would be free right now, rather than a wanted criminal facing trial. Imprisonment, even execution, depending on what you've been told these damn savages. Yes, my dear, I offered you a chance, but you foolishly accepted it. The edict has been issued, and I'm here to collect you. Though I must plan some of the blame for that on your friend Sally. Had she not insisted on playing games, perhaps you would have displayed reason back in the Black Shroud. Instead, she merely added fuel to the fire, already hot with your inherent subordinates. And now I'm forced to make the journey to this filthy realm to clean up her mess, and I suppose that starts with the companies of yours. Take turn and leave right now. Neither of you are ready for the magic tricks of the variety he wields. What about you, my lady? I'm going to reclaim my father's journal. Brave? Your father was brave. Your father is also dead. This realm is overrun with vermin. How we suffered here for so long, I never knew very well. You leave me no choice. You already know we have questioned Mace regarding your unauthorized passage to Eorzea. What you may not know is that we still hold him in the dark cells. Just as a precaution measure, of course. We would not want to see him flee again before the trial. Now your grandfather is not as spry as he used to be. I'm uncertain how long the sanity of a man of his age will last in complete darkness. Though, the longer you delay, the closer we coming to find out. If you wish to see your grandfather released, you will come to the abandoned city in Draven Hinterlands. There my airship will be waiting to take you back to the old world, where you will be tried fairly, of course. I suppose you could run, but knowing that doing so will have great consequences for your grandfather, and possibly your mother as well, and we will still eventually find you. How long did it take you to get here? Boy, but get his ass beat soon. Wait, who was that? I had the strangest feeling I should know him from somewhere. The leader of a powerful group of conservative fundamentalists who seek to control the whole Charlotte knowledge. They believe that our people should not become involved in history, only be witness to it. They analyze it until all the lives lived are lost are but numbers on the page. You may remember Sylvester because he is the same man who has pushed for old China to ban its doors, and he used my father's death as a rally cry. And now I'm certain that he had my father killed. Near the end of my father's letter, he mentioned being contacted by a young servitor who happened to be an old classmate of his when we were both at the start. Sylvester looked to make a name for himself as a politician, warned my father against continuing to dissemble knowledge of Shaolin astrology in Eorzea. My warnings my father, of course, did not heed. Soon after, several attempts were made on my father's life. When he suddenly looked into the matter, he discovered that there was a price on his head, and that Sylvester had put it there. I discovered a contact contract signed by a white wretch folded in my father's journal. He had planned on revealing it to the forum on his return, but he never had the chance. My father gave you the journal before he died, but you never once opened it, and I think it was mine to read. What you say, if it's true, we must come. It seems the fighting dying down. Let us report to the captain of the knights, then return to Ishkar. Well, we must report to the captain and hasten back to Ishkar. Perhaps we can tempt them to make sense. I must say, if this we can expect from the Shaman, I see no reason why we shouldn't have knights trained in the field. I'll recommend it to the Lord Commander. I suspect he will be pleased to see us. If you require our service, you need only ask. Yes. Oh my gosh. So we receive a missive from the commander of the Father's Guard. He thanked us again for the assistance of Hemlock. He was formerly required at least over several nights. However, the vault, however, remains silent. I believe this silence is to be caused by if the Iraq issue with legal eradication has arrived. They need only turn a blind eye to Severus' action. Until he has spirited the lady from the realm, the people simply forget she ever was. But we are not going to let that happen, aren't we? I'm sorry, John, but I no longer see how we cannot. Sylvester has my grandfather, and he has threatened to take my mother. He now has the one thing that could have saved them both, my father's journal. I cannot deny my fate any longer. I've done several readings since our last return, and everyone is the same. Deceit, manipulation, submission, I pass it. Yet you, however, can carry on. Sylvester has no authority over you, or see that my father's dream is fulfilled. Promise me that much. I shall promise that more, lady. Corporan and I will see you that the places we're meeting, and do whatever possible to make sure. You know that by attending me, you put yourself in danger. He has shown he will not hesitate to kill anyone who stands in his way. And now that he knows, I know of his involvement in my father, but still, you would stand by my side at the last moment. I do not deserve friends such as you. Aether is behind building blocks of all the surroundings. They've connected everything. Someone closely attuned with that can sense in the link themselves. Feeling of joy, feeling of pain, scholars and crystal gazers and card readers call it the Wheel of Fortune. We astrologers call it collective unconsciousness. Whether you call it, I will feel bonded. Wish. So you put yourself in pride. There is no other path for me. I do not give up myself. I will be putting only my friend I have left in danger. I cannot bear such burden. You may accompany me if you wish, but you know that you put yourself in grave danger for no reason other than your pride. We shall live with the answer quartet as bonuses. I'm sure that good fate and all has been employed to have come to conclusion. Well, you are foolish. I would not trade friends with such a gold. There's no gold in. My lady, might I ask you to entertain a second opinion? You should that the father's diary contains documents which implicates. What if we are full to stand that the Sibir has yet to lay eyes on documents? Suppose he only took the diary to provoke you. If would somehow retrieve it before the airship. Then we have bargain ship at our own. By this is the arrested leader. Their sole purpose is to in life is the hoarding of knowledge. Of course, he read the diary, and knowing the service, the documents would have a set of flames to discover it. Unless we told him that there is another document, one that I removed from the diary to examine, one there is not in the diary when he stole it. Of course, there is no such page, and it would be easier enough to draft something of her memory, something that would appear from it. Just might work, though. Depends if he simply attempted to take the document by force. Were that to happen, we would unfortunately to escape our lives. The visitor is a former astrologer. Some say he even possesses the power to stop time. I thought that those were only. We must not think of it. There is little time left before the scheduled meeting with Lady Lave. Plan is to all have. If we save both our family, we must act. That's the stars will guide us to victory. My father was born and raised where he became a astrologer. He took his first step on the path that will lead him. He was not a Shalian, he was not a Hyrule, he was an Eorzea, a jerk of the evening. 15 have come since the last step foot on the path of separation. Yet it will appear that it has been happening for centuries. Nature is the greatest of lovers. To provide us with what we need, that we are done with it, she can take back what it is and always has been, rightfully hers. There is still before us servitors that is to arrive. As we might remind. There I might suggest a rooftop garden directly south of here. Your father and I would spend many nights by the gaze of the stars and petting along about the dream with small hours. If he was who first told me of your mother, your birth mother, now the aunt. I didn't leave a child. He was fire spirit once had the idea filled him. It were life. Because of how that lineage reducing Charlotte and Tragic, Rosa was one of the I was the first mission of people of the city word. But your father overwhelmed me with passion. It was not long before I found myself. One day we were standing on the same sky. You would have a daughter who was as stubborn as he, a daughter who put his life and his life for those who he loved in danger because of and I think he was here now. Proud that I at least tried. Proud that I did not take fate's control of me. I rather walked hand in hand with fate down a path my father left, not only for me, but for all those who worried it. I believe he would be. Though I did not fully realize it until recently, it has been as if Ruffin was here by my side once again, my passion, the stubbornness, the talent. I don't think he would stand idly by as Severus had this way, so I believe neither should we. Thank you. I know I have been hard on you, but it's only because you were an incompetent astrologer with an aversion to tragedy. Not because you were anything but a good man and a good friend. Now let us see what the stars have. confess more, but the only thing that be guiding us tonight is glacially right. Remember that. Alright. Let's begin. Up. There's the sky. I'm trying to inform you, but there has been a change of plan. There will be no return to your home, no tear filling your grandfather, no child, only a sentence will be by my hand. You see, after reading your father's diary, it seems clear that you and your Russian speed knows too much. I cannot believe how long I've been searching for the document. The last one has connected me to your father's unfortunate accident. I tracked down and had all the other people. This one has eluded me. At last. It appears we are left with a single path. Yeah, 3 warriors, 1 Astrologian, we have 3 Astrologians. Stop time is a special purpose. You can live, but you will not kill me. That was not intention. No, I will only wish you guys a simple. The first being to return my fire diary. You will send back to words over to have my grandfather release the meeting, and finally to return to Charlotte and report to Forum, and I have disappeared and resumed the looting thing. I shall tell the Forum that all I know your involvement in my father's death. I doubt they will be as generous. remain here and continue to spread our knowledge across this worm realm, like it was supreme brother. You know what to do. The barbarians of this realm have shown that you only use their knowledge to destroy each other. They corrupt it, they lessen it, and they forget it. They never once have shown they are worthy of knowledge they so defile. Yet you still give it. Very well, I shall do as you. But know that the forum is ever listening, ever watching. If you continue your escapades here in Ishkar, they will find out. And they will send others until they have succeeded where I have failed. Just make certain they do not. You are a powerful man who also happens to be a master of lies and deceit. I pray that task should not prove difficult. If it does, well then I can always show them what manner of man he is. I do not think they need of that. The aggressive, however wicked, is not a fool. He will not sacrifice what he spent the past 2 days building over a girl, even if that's a couple. He is an inferior. Especially if he offered me means to accomplish it without causing him to lose face. His pride, of course, is not a little wine can cure. Sometimes I never thought I would get it, at least out loud. Does that mean you remain in the sea and continue your teaching? Of course I will. As a pending contract with House and Inn, obligation is the victor and the hunter of tail feathers. And then, of course, there's a matter of your incomplete training. Excuse me, you still only open half of the heavens gate. What the hell was that? I have no idea how we survived that. Think of it, the Vista could stop time. Perhaps the fate had stronger pull than I thought I imagined. Or perhaps I merely evolved in an all-powerful I may recall a time where I pulled Miller aside. How is that not true? I still not trust his, my lady's yours. A man of my age, as less half fell in the last battle. I still cannot believe we fended off those pirates and them below. I could not have survived this long without you. We do not go completely as planned, but we arrive at the fate in the sufficientness which we do with the space we've been granted. I believe this war and another being perhaps after we had a bit. Oh Lord. It's stuff like isn't time. Remember. Lord Ruffin. Oh, and a surprise? I believe I know the answer to your senses, doubtless for having witnessed a poor Levitic tragic end into Hitherland. Contrary to popular opinion, I was not murdered at all, but merely a long-winded journey that has finally brought me back to Ishtar, so that I may teach us too. I mean, shown the people the fate. Listen, those who oppose celestial guidance shall find their toes burning on without end.